In general, I think the whole concept of talent management is a good one for our Army. I think it's been very challenging for the Army during this period of time where we're fighting two wars to really look at the professional development of our officers across a broad range of skill sets while also meeting the demands of our warfighting force. So it's really time for the senior leaders of the Army and all of those that we lead to think through where it is we want to take the leaders of the 21st century and what types of skills, what types of talents are going to be required for them to be successful in the years ahead. I would say that for the Army Human Resources Command, for our leaders that are managing officers in very short supply, that they are doing a wonderful job in trying to do that. And if you then try to ask, are they managing talent in a way that they should be in this environment, the answer would be probably not. Because the demands are so great that just meeting the demands in an environment where we're short significantly, for example, in majors, we're probably short just under 3,000 majors. And given that, the ability of those that are in the career assignment business are doing miraculous work just to try to get the job done. I think the concept of young officers identifying their special talents and skills and being able to express those in a medium where supervisors could then match those skills and talents with the jobs that are directly related to them. I think that idea is a good concept. It's executing that in this environment that we need to sort out how do we do that. How do we slow the tempo of the Army down enough and give opportunities to our young officers to really move into those jobs that are really suited for them. And we're often in the military feeling that we should treat everyone equally. But at the end of the day, each officer has special talents, and they come to the table with different skills that they've developed growing up. I would agree that we ought to look for that talent, that officers who have that and we have not been able to allow them to express the specific talents that they have, it would be useful for us to have a medium in which we could identify that. And frankly, I think it would be a win-win situation for both the organization to identify the right person for the right job at the right time, and for the individual to feel that they're contributing to the team in a very special way that they uniquely have capabilities. Being an engineer and having a technical background and having graduated from West Point, taught at West Point, and now sit on a couple of the boards for the systems department and the engineering department, I know there are talents uniquely suited for certain jobs that are out in either the Corps of Engineers, Signal, and other branches that the branch managers would certainly like a graduate of the academy or ROTC or OCS, for that matter, that has a skill set that they can match up. I think they would be very interested in that. When I was in Iraq, I among the many number of projects that we had to do, power plants was one area that we didn't have a lot of resident expertise. And if I knew someone had ability, even non-experienced, but had the academic ability to understand how to operate and design power plants, I could put that to use as a second lieutenant. So I do think it's important. Part of what I would like to see us do is take a look at how we've invested in certain officers and how do we track that talent in the Army and how do we further develop it. I think we do a pretty good job in an area. I'll give you an example, the School of Advanced Military Studies. So for the SAMs or the Jedi Knights, we know who those graduates are. We know what their first assignment is, and then we track them pretty well throughout their career in terms of the assignments that we need them to work in. But they're generally operational type assignments, from the tactical to the strategic. But we have other programs where we have invested, whether in public affairs, legislative liaison, scholarships and fellowships and education, where those officers also have very unique talents that can contribute in a significant way. Some have a master's in business administration, for example. And in this town, money is king. In just about everything we do, there's a money and a people component to it. How do we manage those with that special skill in education that we've invested? Where do we assign them? And where do we see them several years down the road so that we can build a bench of the future budget officers of the Army, because we've broadened enough officers with the tactical, the operational, and the strategic capabilities to serve in that position. So I would like to take a look at it in small groups of key areas that we can make some progress in, and then I think an umbrella strategy that says this is where the Army needs to be in 5 and 10 years to develop the officers that are going to sit in this chair years from now.